Welcome back to Renegade GCM. Today we have a gameplay between Blackbeard and Purple Black Luffy. We chose to go first. We play out our Luffy and just pass the turn. So Luffy has a lot of on-play effects, so we want, as a Blackbeard player for this matchup, is to aggressively shut off their on-plays. We let the Searcher one go, because whatever they draw, we'll be able to utilize our leader effect to shut off their on-plays later on in the game. So they got the Frankie blocker. Okay, we're going to play out Doc Q just to remove their Searcher. And we're going to go 6 and a 5 here into Luffy. Opponent has 6 cards, 7 cards in hand now. They did take that hit. So here we're going to use one of our leader effects now. The reason we do this is because they're going into turn 4, which they can play a Zoro or a Frankie. Both of those cards allow them to ramp Dawn, essentially, with leader effect. I do try to put out new content daily, so if you guys are liking the videos, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Helps the channel grow. So the opponent has quite a bit of cards in hand. Looks like 8 cards in hand now. See what the opponent decides they want to try to do. We did shut off their on play. So they do play the Zoro here, which does not allow them to get their ramp like they would normally do. So the opponent puts 1 Dawn on their leader and passes. We're going to use our finger gun to remove the Zoro using Luffy to search. We're going to get a 2K here. And we're just going to chip in 5. So I think the reason that the leader or the opponent put the Dawn on the leader was just to make it a little harder for us to remove stuff. But the opponent should definitely have been pressuring here. At minimum, it's a life or a card out of hand. There would have been at 6K, so we would need to give them a 2K or take a life. So we did shut off their on plays again, and they do deploy Frankie, but they're not going to be able to get the filter and the Dawn ramp. So they still have quite a bit of cards in hand. They put 2 Dawn on their leader, and they're going to go after Luffy, which is fine. They can have it. We got 3 cards in hand. We have 3 2Ks and a Jesus Burgess. We're going to deploy our Jesus this point, putting 3 remaining Dawn on leader, going 8 into 5. We want to get some cards out of hand. They have quite a bit. They're going to use their blocker here, which works. We're going to make sure we shut off their on play. Looks like they're going to be at 8 Dawn here. This is the Gecko play. This will be the Gecko turn. We don't want them to be able to return stuff. They could also use their 7-drop Sanji, which would they could get Rush. So they play Gecko here as an 8/9 body, essentially a vanilla. We're going to draw into our search event. We're going to search for a Q, the only legal target. So we're going to put 4 Dawn on Jesus and go 11 into 5 here. Just trying to get cards out of hand. We don't expect to take their life, but they give us a life, which is great. We just don't want them having that many cards going into the late game. So we're going to go 9 into 5 here. That we do get some 3 cards out of hand here, it looks like. Yep. Making sure to shut off their on play, because now they'll be at their 10 Dawn turn, which they could drop their 9-drop Luffy that gains Rush, the 10-drop that can reset and give them an extra turn, or the 9-drop Lin that some decks lists do run. So like we're just trying to focus on making sure their on plays don't happen. So here they're going to go 11 into Burgess, which sits out at 7K. We have to let it go. We can't counter it out. We didn't have enough cards in our trash in order to give it that extra 1,000 boost after countering. So they still have 8 Dawn to work with, it looks like. So they do play out their Sanji, which 5/6. They won't be able to use the on play. So they put 1 on their Luffy, making it a 6K and just passing the turn. So here I would have swung, forcing a card or a life out of either a life or a card out of hand. So we end up getting the Von Augur. We're going to deploy that, put the remaining 4 on our leader, and we're going to go 9 into 5 here. We're not worrying about the Gecko. We're still at 5 life. See, I was looking about maybe trying to take out the Sanji, but it's just not going to be feasible with what's on the field. Because the Van Augur only gives it -3, and Doc Q can only KO a 1 or less. So they do counter out with the Gum Gum Giant here, still giving us an additional card. Making sure to trash. The only reason we were able to continuously apply our leader effect is because the opponent wasn't pressuring us. So if the opponent decides to start swinging, we will be taking all these hits just to try to get some more cards in hand. So they're going to use their Gum Gum Lightning, it looks like, to remove our Van Augur. Yep. And they just pass it to us without even swinging. So we draw another 2K here. No, sorry. We got the 2K from the Van Augur KO effect. Sorry about that. So they're going to deploy their 7-drop Sanji and then pass turn. So here we drew the 7-drop 8K Jack. It's not really going to be able to do much for the effect, but it's an 8K body that's going to allow us to pressure. So we're going to put 3 Dawn onto our leader and go 8 into 5. Just trying to get cards out of hand. They're down to 1 life. So we do get 2 cards out of hand. Then we're going to deploy our Jack here just as a 7-8 body. And then we're going to trash the leader with leader effect. So the opponent still has not really been pressuring much into the board, which is kind of weird for me. So they're going 7 into 5 here. We're going to take that. Like I said, anything that they hit us with this turn, we're going to take. Even if we can counter out, we just want more cards in hand. So we take that. Now we're accumulating some 2Ks. 9 into 5 here. We take that. We do get the Vasco shot blocker. And they still have one more swing with the Gecko. They put 2 Dawn on Gecko here. Going 11 into 5. We're going to take that. I still have 3 open Dawn, 3 cards, 1 life. So we do draw into our 10-drop Teach here, but we're debating if we want to even play that or we just want to go for game here. With 3 cards and 1 life, we have 3 viable swings with Doc Q. We got to put a lot on Doc Q in order to make him a viable swing. But at 10 Dawn, it's definitely worth at least trying to see what's going on. Because we still got plenty of 2Ks in hand. So we're going to put 6 on our Doc Q and go 6 into 5 here. So they give that to us, which is a good sign that they may not have any counter. Okay, so opponent scoops it up here. You see, yeah, they had no counter in hand. But if they were able to counter out of that one with like a simple 2K, we were going to push the 8. And then if they did have counter, they would 8 up the rest of their counter essentially. And then we would have been able to go 9 with leader. But make sure you guys like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.